Pete the cat, Super Pete. Pete the cat is out for a walk. Pete listens to the owls. He listens to the frogs. Just then, Pete hears a beep. It is not coming from outside. It is coming from his watch. Pete races home. It is time for Pete the cat to become Super Pete. Pete presses a button in his room. The wall slides away. Pete sees a set of steps. Down, down, down he goes. Pete steps into his lair. It is full of groovy things to help him fight crime. Pete the cat puts on his awesome cat suit. He puts on his cape and his sneakers. Now Super Pete is ready to save the city. Pete sees a flashing light. There is a message on his computer. It is the mayor. "Come quick, Super Pete," the mayor says. "We need your help. There is trouble at the warehouse." Pete pulls a lever. Whoosh! Pete's nifty jet sinks into his lair. Pete hops into the jet. He zips into the air. Super Pete is on his way to save the day. Pete races through the sky. He hits a button. The jet shimmers. The jet disappears. Now the jet is invisible. No one will know Super Pete is coming. Pete hovers over the warehouse. He straps on a parachute. He jumps. Pete lands on the roof. He goes inside the warehouse. It is dark. He cannot see. Pete puts on his night vision goggles. He sees two bad guys. They are carrying a box. Pete picks up a rock. He puts it in his slingshot. The rock hits the box. The bad guys drop the box. They climb out a window. Pete races to the window. The bad guys have a boat. They're getting away. Pete pushes a button on his cat suit. His sneakers turn to flippers. A mask closes over his face. Pete jumps into the water. He swims after the bad guys. Pete takes a rope from his pocket. He twirls it over his head. Pete aims. He throws. The rope catches the boat. Pete pulls himself along the rope. Pete climbs into the bad guy's boat. He ties up the bad guys. Pete pushes a button on his watch. His jet appears above him. Pete pulls the bad guys into his jet. Pete brings the bad guys to the mayor. Super Pete saved the day. Pete the cat, Pete at the beach. It is a hot day. Pete the cat goes to the beach with his mom and his brother Bob. "Let's go in the water," Bob says. "Maybe later," says Pete. Bob likes to surf. He rides the big waves. It looks like fun. "I'm hot," says Pete. "Go in the water," says Mom. "Maybe later," says Pete. Pete makes a sand castle. His mom helps him dig. Here comes a big wave. And there goes Pete. Oh no! Where did his sandcastle go? Bob rides a big wave. Wow, says Pete. That looks like fun. Pete and his mom take a walk. They find seashells. They see a crab. Pete's feet get wet. His feet feel cool. The rest of him is hot. It is time for lunch. Pete eats a sandwich. He drinks lemonade. The sun is very hot. And Pete is very, very hot. Bob is wet and cool. Let's play ball, says Pete. No thanks, says Bob. I want to surf. Pete throws the ball. His mom catches it. Let's get our feet wet, says Mom. Well, okay, says Pete. The water is cool. It feels good. Pete goes in deeper. Bob waves to Pete. I want to show you how to surf, he yells. Pete does not say, maybe later. He says, let's do it. Lie on the board, says Bob. Pete lies on the board. Paddle, says Bob. Pete paddles out. He waits for a big wave. A big wave is coming. Stand up, says Bob. Pete stands up. Then Pete falls down. It was scary, but it did not hurt. Try again later, says Bob. Pete wants to try again now. Pete lies down again. He paddles out and waits. Here comes a wave. Pete stands up. This time he rides the wave. Good job, says Bob. Pete wants to surf all day. Bob does too, so they take turns. Pete and Bob rock and roll with the waves. What a great day. It is okay to be afraid, but it is more fun to surf. Pete the cat and the mysterious smell. Ooh, I wonder what the smell is. Looks like Pete and the gang are at lunch at school and something is stinky. I wonder what it is. What do you think it is? Pete the cat and the mysterious smell. One day at lunchtime, Pete and Grumpy Toad notice something peculiar. Pete sniffs the air. Ugh, do you smell that?
P.U.
Grumpy Toad says.
What is that smell?
I hope it's not lunch, says Pete.
No way,
Grumpy Toad replies.
because today is Pizza Day. The pizza smells great,
says Grumpy Toad, rubbing his belly. It does, says Pete, but something else still stinks.
Ugh! What is that smell?
Callie asks, joining the pizza line. I don't know, says Pete, but we have to find out. It's awful. Callie thinks.
Maybe it's some rotten radishes in the salad bar.
Ooh, gross,
says Grumpy Toad.
Did you find the smell?
Asks Callie.
No, I just don't like salad.
Grumpy Toad says. Pete sniffs around the salad bar.
Whoa,
Says Alligator.
what is that smell?
It's not rotten radishes, Pete replies.
Maybe it's some stanky socks in the gym?
Suggests Alligator. Everyone looks under the bleachers and checks behind the ball bins.
What is that smell?
Gus says.
Gross!
It's not stinky socks.
Alligator says. Says Gus.
Maybe it's some funky gunk from the science room?
Pete and his friends check every project in progress for funky gunk, but they still can't find the smell.
Phew-wee,
Says Bob.
what is that smell?
It's not funky gunk, Pete says. Bob thinks.
Maybe it's that gloopy glue in the art room? Or we could check the pizza line again.
Grumpy Toad suggests, but his friends are already dashing off. Pete and his pals search the art room, top to bottom, inside and out, high and low. No gloopy glue anywhere.
Yikes,
Says Turtle.
what is that smell?
We're trying to find out, groans Pete. It's getting worse. Says Turtle.
Maybe it's some nasty trash out in the dumpsters.
They head outside to the empty dumpsters.
Nope,
Turtle sighs.
not a scrap of nasty trash in sight.
The smell is stronger than ever. Says Squirrel.
What is that smell?
Grumpy Toad groans again.
We don't know.
Did you check your shoes?
Squirrel asks.
Maybe someone has stinky sneakers.
Pete and Grumpy Toad check everyone's shoes, but no one has stinky sneakers. Now they all want to know.
What is that smell?
Spread out, Pete directs. We'll look everywhere.
By the time we find the smell,
Grumpy Toad grumbles.
pizza day will be over.
They look under the swings, behind the monkey bars, from the top of the basketball hoop to the bottom of the slide. No one can find the source of the terrible smell. Finally, Grumpy Toad gives up. His tummy gurgles.
I think I'll have a snack while I wait for them.
He says, and opens his backpack.
Uh-oh.
Grumpy Toad pulls an icky, drippy blob from his backpack.
Whoops.
He giggles. Pete gasps, Grumpy Toad, that's the smell!
Yeah, I think I forgot to eat my snack yesterday.
Grumpy Toad says.
Or maybe it was last week, or...
Callie pinches her nose.
But what is it?
More like, what was it?
Bob says, trying to wave away the smell. Pete and Grumpy Toad throw the mysterious blob into the trash.
That smelled way worse than rotten radishes, stinky socks, funky gunk, gloopy glue, nasty trash, and stinky sneakers, all put together,
says Grumpy Toad. Totally, Pete agrees. But now that horrible smell is gone.
And finally,
Grumpy Toad cheers.
we can eat some pizza.
Good friends stick together, even when things are a little stinky. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Gigi's Magic Mailbox. Did you hear that? You know what that means. Something's just arrived in the Magic Mailbox. Let's see what it is. Oh, yay! It's Pete the Cat. You know what that means. It's a Pete the Cat book. Pete the Cat and the Perfect Pizza Party. Do you like pizza? I know I do. Pepperoni and mushroom, banana peppers, and sometimes I eat it on a cauliflower crust pizza, and it's awesome. Well, wait till you see the kind of toppings that Pete's friends want to put on their pizza. It's pretty silly. Pete the Cat and the perfect pizza party. Pete the cat loves pizza. Pete the cat loves parties too. Pete had an idea of what he could do. He would have the perfect pizza party. You are invited to Pete's Pizza Party. Fun, music, games. Bring your swimsuit. Pete's friends all arrived. It was time to build the perfect pizza together. That would make the pizza even better. Pete thought the perfect pizza would be pepperoni with extra cheese.
It's a party, a pepperoni pizza party.
But everyone did not agree. Callie said, pepperoni would be just fine, but I really love pretzels on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pretzels? Well, that's something new. But maybe pretzels could be groovy too.
It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pizza party.
Squirrel said, pepperoni and pretzels would be just fine, but I really love pistachios on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pistachios? Well, that's something new. But maybe pistachios could be groovy too.
It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pizza party.
Grumpy Toad said, pepperoni, pretzels, and pistachios would be just fine, but I really love pickles on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Pickles? Well, that's something new. But maybe pickles could be groovy too.
It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pickle pizza party.
Gus said, pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, and pickles would be just fine, but I really love popcorn on mine. Pete and the gang were puzzled. Popcorn? Well, that's something new, but maybe popcorn could be groovy too.
It's a party, a pepperoni pretzel pistachio pickle popcorn pizza party.
Alligator said, pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, and popcorn would be just fine, but I really love papaya on mine. Now Pete and the gang were really puzzled. Papaya? Well, that's something new, but maybe papaya could be groovy too.
It's a party, a pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya, pizza party.
Pete and the gang piled the pepperoni, pretzels, pistachios, pickles, popcorn, and papaya on top. The pizza was so high, they had to stop. Ding! The pizza was done. Trying something new might be fun. They all built up the courage to take a first bite, and the pepperoni, pretzel, pistachio, pickle, popcorn, papaya pizza was out of sight. Dynamite, just right. In the end, the perfect pizza is a pizza shared with friends. Pete the cat, Cave Cat Pete. Cave Cat Pete wakes up early.
Yeah.
The sun is shining. The birds are singing. Today is going to be a great day, Pete thinks. But then Pete's bed starts to shake. His friend Vinny the Velociraptor is coming to visit.
It's a perfect day for a picnic,
says Vinny. What a great idea, says Pete. Who should we invite?
everyone,
Vinny yells. Right on, says Pete. Pete loves picnics. He heads out to invite all his friends. First, Pete finds his good friend Ethel the Apatosaurus. To get her attention, Pete climbs all the way to the top of the tallest tree. Would you like to come to a picnic? Pete asks.
I'd love to,
Says Ethel.
What can I bring?
How about a really big salad? Pete suggests.
What a great idea,
Says Ethel.
I'm on it.
Pete wanders along the river. He sees T-Rex. T-Rex plays guitar. T-Rex is awesome. Hey, T-Rex, Pete yells. Want to come to a picnic?
Sweet.
Says T-Rex.
Can I bring my guitar?
Definitely, says Pete. We can jam. Count me in, says T-Rex. Okay if I bring Al the Allosaurus? He's a whiz on the drums. The more the merrier, says Pete. Pete sees his friend Terry the pterosaur in the sky. Hi, Pete, she calls. Pete invites Terry to the picnic, too. Would you mind giving me a lift? Pete asks. Sure, says Terry. Climb aboard. Pete sees the spiked tail of his main man, Skip the Stegosaurus. How are you feeling today, Skip? Pete asks. Skip has been sick with the sniffles. Better, says Skip. Thanks for asking. You up for a picnic? I think so, says Skip. I'd hate to miss the fun. It's almost time for the picnic. Cave Cat Pete rushes through the forest. He doesn't want to be late. Whoops! Pete trips over Trini the Triceratop. We're playing hide and seek, she says before Pete can ask what she was doing. I think I hit a little too well. How long have you been there? Asks Pete. What's today? Asks Trini. Well, all the dinosaurs are going to be at the picnic grounds. Want to come? Pete asks. What a great idea. Maybe somebody there will play hide and seek with me. It's time for the picnic. Vinny and Ethel are setting up the picnic tables. T-Rex and Al are warming up to play some tunes. Terry and Trini are playing hide and seek. Even Skip seems to be enjoying himself. Doesn't get any better than this, Pete says. T-Rex comes over then. Hey, Pete, he asks, is there anything else to eat? I'm a carnivore. I don't eat salad. Trini comes over. Terry is cheating at hide and seek. She's flying around and peeking. Skip comes over. I don't feel so good, he says, and he sneezes. The dinosaurs all start to argue. The picnic will be ruined if Pete doesn't do something. He leans over to Al and says, Can you give me a beat? Pete takes out his guitar and he starts to sing. Before long, everyone is having a great time. You know, T-Rex tells Ethel, I've never actually tried salad before. Try it, says Pete. I bet you'll like it. T-Rex tastes the salad. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yum, says T-Rex. This salad is delicious. Everyone grabs a plate and digs in. Everyone decides to play hide and seek. Pete is happy that everyone is getting along. He feels lucky to have such great friends. This was the best picnic ever, everyone agrees. It was the best picnic because you guys are the best friends ever, Pete says. And no one can argue with that. Pete the Cat, Construction Destruction. Recess, Pete shouts as the bell rings. But when Pete gets outside to play, oh no! The playground is a disaster. The swings are broken, the slide is rusty, and the sandbox is full of weeds. Pete makes plans for a new playground. Wow, says Principal Nancy. Can you really build that? Not by myself, says Pete. I'm going to need some help. Whatever you need, Pete, it's yours. The next day, Pete arrives at the playground before school. The construction crew is already there. He gives them the go-ahead to tear down the old playground. Creak, crash, down goes the slide. Clink, clink, down go the swings. Bang, boom, down goes the tower. A truck arrives to recycle the metal. The new playground equipment has arrived. It's time to get to work. The cement mixer will pour concrete. The dump truck will bring sand and dirt. The backhoe will dig. The whole team will get the job done. Building a playground is hard work. The new playground is cool, but it's not cool enough. What do you think? Pete asks, holding up his latest plans. It will be too hard to build, says one of the workers. And everything is almost finished, says another. But it will make this the best playground ever, Pete says. Then let's do it, the workers say. Screwdrivers twist in screws. Wrenches tighten the nuts. The workers try to make everything perfect. Hooray! The new playground is ready. Everyone is amazed until creak, creak, creak. Oh no, says Principal Nancy as the new playground crashes to the ground. The pieces are all mixed up. Everyone is disappointed, except for Pete. It's not how we planned it, Pete shouts. It's even better. This playground is filled with surprises and places to explore. The school playground is the most amazing playground ever. Sometimes you've got to dare to dream big. Pete the cat, Pete's big lunch. Here comes Pete. Lunch? It is lunchtime. Pete is ready to eat. What should Pete eat? A sandwich would be nice. Yes, Pete wants a sandwich. Pete opens the fridge. He takes out a loaf of bread. He finds a yummy fish. He adds tomato and mayo. Pete looks at his sandwich. It is too small. Something is missing. Pete knows what it needs. His sandwich needs an apple. Pete loves apples. His sandwich needs crackers. Crackers are crunchy. Pete loves crunchy crackers. Pete looks at his sandwich again. It is still too small. Pete is very hungry. Pete adds a pickle. Pete adds cheese. Pete adds an egg, 2 hot dogs, a banana, and a can of beans. Something is missing. Pete adds ice cream. He takes 3 huge scoops. Pete's sandwich is too big for Pete to eat. Pete wonders what to do. Pete thinks and thinks. I've got it, Pete says. Pete calls all of his friends. He asks them to come over. Everyone goes to Pete's house. They are all very hungry. Pete shows them his big lunch. Are you hungry? Asks Pete. Pete's sandwich is big enough for everyone. Dig in, says Pete. Pete's sandwich is good. Pete's sandwich is very good. Pete's sandwich is all gone. Pete's friends are full. They liked Pete's big lunch. Thanks for lunch, Pete's friends say. Thanks for sharing. You're welcome, Pete says. Sharing is cool. Pete the cat play ball. Here comes Pete the cat. Pete has a mitt. He has a bat and a ball. What will Pete do today? Pete will play baseball. Today is the big game. The rocks are playing the roles. Pete and his team get set. They play catch. They take turns hitting. It is time to play ball. The rocks bat first. Pete waits for his turn. Crack! The batter hits the ball. He runs to first base. Way to go, Pete cheers.
Batter up,
Says the umpire. Pete goes up to bat. The pitcher throws the ball. Pete swings the bat. He misses the ball.
strike one.
The pitcher pitches again. Pete swings too high.
Strike two.
The pitcher winds up. He throws. Pete strikes out.
Uh-oh.
But Pete is not sad. He did his best. Pete's friend Ben is up. Ben hits a home run. Way to go, cheers Pete. The Rolls go up to bat. The Rocks go to the field. Crack! Here comes a fly ball. I've got it, calls Pete. The ball hits his mitt, but Pete drops it. He is not sad. He did his best. Another hit. This time Pete catches it, but he throws it too far. Pete is up at bat again. He wants to hit the ball. The first pitch is too low. Pete does not swing.
Ball one.
The next pitch is too high. Pete does not swing.
Ball two.
The third pitch is inside. The fourth pitch is outside. Pete gets 4 balls. Pete wanted to get a hit, but a walk is cool too. The next batter gets a hit. Pete runs as fast as he can. Pete wants to score, but he is out at home plate. Pete is not sad. He did his best. The game is over. The Rocks win 6-3. Way to go, calls Pete. Good game, the Rocks say. Good game, the Rolls say. Pete did his best. He had fun. What a great game. Pete the cat, Robo-pete. What a great sunny morning. Pete can't wait to play baseball with his friends. Do you want to play catch? Pete asks Larry. I can't, says Larry. I'm going to the library. Do you want to play catch? Pete asks Callie. I was about to go for a bike ride, says Callie. Do you want to play catch? Pete asks John. I can't right now, says John. I have to paint the fence. Pete wishes his friends would do what he wants to do. It's no fun playing catch all by himself. If only I knew another me. Pete thinks, and like that, Pete has a great idea. Pete builds a robot. He programs it to be just like him. Welcome to the world, Robo-pete, Pete says to the robot. You're my new best friend. We'll do everything together. And I want to play catch, says Pete.
Great idea,
Says Robo-pete. Pete and Robo-pete play catch. Wow, says Pete, running after the ball. You sure can throw far. Robo-pete throws farther and farther until... Time out, says Pete as he tries to catch his breath. Let's play something else.
I want to play whatever you want to play,
Robo-pete says proudly. How about we play hide and seek, says Pete.
That will be fun,
Says Robo-pete. Pete finds the best hiding place ever. He's sure Robo-pete will never find him.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shouts Robo-pete.
Ready or not, here I come. Gotcha!
Shouts Robo-pete, tagging Pete. Hey, how did you find me? Says Pete.
With my homing device,
Says Robo-pete.
I can find anyone, anywhere.
Okay, enough hide and seek, says Pete. Let's play some guitar. Pete teaches Robo-pete how to play a song he made up. You have to feel the music, Pete explains.
Okay,
Says Robo-pete.
to feel it, I need to play loud.
Explains Robo-pete. Pete tries to stop Robo-pete, but Robo-pete can't hear him over the noise.
This is fun,
Says Robo-pete. This is awful, says Pete the cat.
Okay,
Says Robo-pete. Let's ride our skateboards instead. Before Pete can answer, Robo-pete's feet transform into a motorized skateboard with super speedy wheels.
let's go.
Robo-pete shouts. Wait, calls Pete. Pete chases after Robo-pete. He has no idea where Robo-pete is going. Robo-pete crashes into the sandbox at the playground. Are you okay? Pete asks his robot.
I am a robot. I am indestructible.
Says Robo-pete.
What is this strange place?
It's a playground, says Pete. He waves to his friends. This is Robo-pete, Pete says to Callie, Larry, and John. I made him myself. Cool, says Larry. We are going to help John finish painting, says Callie, and then we are going bike riding.
I want to go on the slide.
Interrupts Robo-pete. Robo-pete, I want to help my friends paint the fence, Pete tells his robot.
Paint the fence. That would be great.
Robo-pete says.
I am programmed to paint faster than anyone.
Pete and his friends try to help, but Robo-pete paints too fast. So instead, they ride bikes. And they read books. And after Robo-pete is done painting, they help him clean the brushes. Pete realizes that it doesn't matter what they do. Just being with his friends is what makes it fun. Pete the cat, rocking in my school shoes. Art by James Dean and story by Eric Litwin. James Dean is the creator of Pete the cat. Here comes Pete strolling down the street, rocking red shoes on his 4 furry feet. Pete is going to school, and he sings this song. I'm rocking in my school shoes, I'm rocking in my school shoes, I'm rocking in my school shoes. Pete is sitting at his desk when his teacher says,
Come on, Pete, down the hall to a room with books on every wall.
Where is Pete going? The library! Pete has never been to the library before. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no! He finds his favorite book and sings his song. I'm reading in my school shoes, I'm reading in my school shoes, I'm reading in my school shoes. Check out Pete. He's ready to eat in a big, noisy room with tables and seats. Where is Pete? The lunchroom. It can be loud and busy in the lunchroom. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no! He sits down with his friends and sings his song. I'm eating in my school shoes, I'm eating in my school shoes, I'm eating in my school shoes. Pete and his friends are playing outside on a green grassy field with swings and tall slides. Where is Pete? The playground! Kids are running in every direction. Does Pete worry? Goodness, no! He slides and swings and sings his song. I'm playing in my school shoes, I'm playing in my school shoes, I'm playing in my school shoes. All day long, Pete sings his song. I'm singing in my school shoes. I'm painting in my school shoes. I'm adding in my school shoes. I'm writing in my school shoes. When school is done, Pete rides the bus home. Pete's mom asks him, "What did you do at school today?" And Pete says, I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. I was rocking in my school shoes. And I will do it again tomorrow. Because it's all good. Pete the cat, too cool for school. Pete wants to look cool. He asks everyone, "What should I wear?" "Wear your yellow shirt," his mom says. "It is my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear your red shirt," Pete's friend Marty says. "It is my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear your blue shirt," Pete's brother Bob says. "It is my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear your long pants," Pete's teacher says. "They are my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear the shorts with the fish," Pete's friend Callie says. "They are my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear the polka dot socks," the bus driver says. "They are my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear the cowboy boots," Grumpy Toad says. "They are my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear the tie with the stripes," Emma says. "It is my favorite." So Pete does. "Wear your baseball hat," his coach says. "It is my favorite." So Pete does. Pete puts on all the clothes. Does he look cool? No, Pete looks silly. He also feels very hot. Pete goes home. He changes his clothes. Pete puts on his favorite shirt. Pete puts on his favorite pants. Pete puts on his favorite socks. Pete puts on his favorite shoes. Pete puts on his sunglasses. Pete says, "Now I am cool." If you want to be cool, just be you. Pete the cat and the surprise teacher. Pete is ready for school. "Where is Mom?" Pete asks. "She has a surprise for you," says Pete's dad. Pete goes to school. His mom is there. What a surprise! "Hi, class. I am Mrs. Cat," says Pete's mom. "I am the substitute teacher." "I will need your help today," says Pete's mom. "What do we do first?" "Art," says Pete. "Yeah," says the class. The class lines up. Pete's mom leads the line. "Is this art?" asks Pete's mom. Boing! This is not art. "This is gym. Stay and play," says the gym teacher. The class plays. "Gym is fun with more kids," says Pete. Gym is over. Pete's mom takes the class to art. La la la! This is not art. "This is music. Stay and sing," says the music teacher. The class sings. "We are louder with more kids," says Pete. Rumble. Pete is hungry. Time for lunch. "This is not the lunchroom. This is the playground. Let's have a picnic," says Pete. "Now it is time for art," says Pete's mom. Everyone cheers. Pete leads the class. "Is this art?" asks Pete's mom. It is. Lots of kids are making art. "Oh no," says the art teacher. "It is too late to join us. The day is almost over." The class goes to their classroom. "I know," says Pete. "Let's make art here," he says. "Okay," says Pete's mom. Pete calls a huddle. Whisper, whisper. The class plans a surprise. Pete draws. Callie makes paper cats. Everyone helps. "Surprise!" says Pete. The class made art for Pete's mom. "Thank you, Mrs. Cat," says the class. "We had a great day with you." Sometimes a different day is an awesome day. Pete the Cat's 12 Groovy Days of Christmas. On the first day of Christmas, Pete gave to me a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the second day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 2 fuzzy gloves and a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the third day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the fourth day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the fifth day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy. On the 6th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 7th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 8th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 8 guitar strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 9th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitars strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 10th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 10 sloths a-sleeping, 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitars strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 11th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 11 balls a bouncing, 10 sloths a sleeping, 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitar strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! On the 12th day of Christmas, Pete gave to me 12 friends a rockin', 11 balls a bouncing, 10 sloths a sleeping, 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitar strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards, 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. Groovy! There's something else in the Magic Mailbox. Let's see what it is. Aw, it's a mirror. Because in the book, Pete gave 12 friends a rocking. And if you look in the mirror, you're one of Gigi's friends. And I hope I have lots and lots and lots of friends, even more than 12 like Pete gave in the book. Well, this was so much fun. Well, let's count down one last time. He gave 12 friends a rocking, 11 balls a bouncing, 10 sloths a sleeping, 9 ugly sweaters, 8 guitars strumming, 7 concert tickets, 6 skateboards, right? Was it 6 skateboards rolling? I think so. Well, we gotta get our pig face in the right way. 6 skateboards rolling, 5 onion rings, 4 far-out surfboards. I love this little donkey. 3 yummy cupcakes, 2 fuzzy gloves, and a road trip to the sea. If you remembered all those, you're doing better than Gigi. Good job. Thanks for joining me to read Pete the Cat and the 12 Groovy Days of Christmas. They were pretty groovy, weren't they? Well, I hope that you have a groovy Christmas too, and a magical one at that. And I'll see you soon.
Merry Christmas!
Pete the Cat and the Easter Basket Bandit. One Easter morning, Pete the Cat discovers his Easter basket is missing.
Oh no!
Where is my Easter basket? He asks. I-O-U, Easter basket. Pete looks everywhere. It's not here or there. It's not anywhere. Then Pete spots a bright blue dot on the floor. It's a jelly bean, Pete's favorite. Pete finds another, then another, and another. It's a whole trail of colorful jelly beans. Says Pete. I wonder if these will lead me to my basket. Pete follows the jelly beans down the street and around the corner to Callie's house. Callie, have you seen my Easter basket? Pete asks.
No,
Says Callie.
but I see a trail of candy eggs.
Let's follow it, says Pete. Pete and Callie follow the candy eggs through the yard and across a field to Alligator's house.
Alligator, have you seen Pete's Easter basket?
Asks Callie.
I haven't,
Says Alligator.
but look at this trail of marshmallow chicks.
We should see where it goes, says Pete. Pete and Callie and Alligator follow the marshmallow chicks around the pond to Gus's house.
Gus, have you seen Pete's Easter basket?
Asks Alligator.
It's not here,
Says Gus.
but there are all these lollipops on the ground.
It's a lollipop trail.
Says Callie.
Let's follow it.
So Pete and Callie and Alligator and Gus follow the lollipops out the door and up the path to Turtle's house.
Turtle, have you seen Pete's Easter basket?
Asks Gus.
No.
Says Turtle.
But look, there are a bunch of chocolate bunnies leading that way.
Let's go! Everyone shouts. Pete and Callie and Alligator and Gus and Turtle follow the chocolate bunny trail to the playground. It goes under the swings and down the slide and around the monkey bars to a colorful little house in the garden.
It looks like the trail ends here.
Says Turtle. But before Pete can knock, the door swings open and everyone gasps. It's the Easter Bunny! Easter Bunny, have you seen my Easter basket? Asks Pete. The Easter Bunny looks sad. Yes, he says, I have it. Every year I deliver all the Easter baskets, but I never get one of my own. So I borrowed yours. The Easter Bunny sniffles. I was going to bring it back soon. I'm very sorry, Pete. Pete smiles and hugs the Easter Bunny. That's okay, says Pete. I understand. Then Pete has a great idea. He puts some of his candy in an empty basket. He asks Callie and Alligator and Gus and Turtle to all add candy from their baskets too. Soon the new basket is bursting with treats. Pete hands the basket to the Easter Bunny. Happy Easter, Pete says. This one is just for you. The Easter Bunny is so happy. Thank you so much, everyone, he says, and gleefully eats a jelly bean from his first ever Easter basket. Pete and his friends promise to make the Easter Bunny a basket every year from now on. Sharing is the sweetest gift of all. Stay tuned for 4 one-minute Easter stories. Happy Easter from the crayons. The crayons are getting ready for Easter. Red crayon decorates a circle. That is not an egg. Are you gonna color an egg? Nope. Orange crayon decorates a square. Hey, that is not an egg. No, but it is the color of the sun. Yellow crayon decorates a triangle. That is totally not an egg. No, but it is the color of the sun. Esteban decorates a rectangle. That is definitely not an egg. No, but my gosh, look how magnificent it is. White crayon decorates a star. That's not an egg also. Did you even color it? Yes, I colored it, thank you very much. Blue crayon decorates a rhombus. I know, not an egg. Don't start with me, Purple. I need a nap. Purple crayon is super confused. No one is decorating an egg. Yes, we are. Oh, now I get it. But where are we gonna hide this thing? Ooh, I know. Nothing to see here. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, little Pookie. Come look, little Pookie. There are daffodils here. Yes, spring is beginning and Easter is near. Lalo. And I have a surprise on this excellent day. Your little friend Bean has come over to play. Bean! Pook! So much bouncing around on your hoppity legs. Have you had enough hopping? Let's go decorate eggs. We have egg paints and crayons and stickers galore. You can decorate eggs till there aren't any more. And now, silly rabbits, your play date is done. Bye-bye, Bean. Bye-bye, Pook. Thank you for coming. We hope you had fun. The Great Easter Bunny will be visiting soon to hide baskets and eggs by the light of the moon. And then in the morning, we scurry outside. We will look for the places where Easter eggs hide. But first you must sleep, dreaming of spring and all of the wonders tomorrow will bring. Night-night, my little Pookie. Sweet dreams. Little Chick. With a crack, Little Chick hatches out of his egg. First he flutters his wings, then he wiggles his legs. Now up and about, Little Chick wants to eat. He hops through the yard and finds his first treat. As he takes in the world, Little Chick sings, loving the sun and the flowers it brings. But although Little Chick loves his new home, he wishes that he weren't there all alone. He walks by 2 eggs, and that's when he hears a peep and a cheep. A small crack appears. Out comes a chick, and after another. Now Little Chick has a sister and brother. Easter. Tasty chocolate ready to eat. Easter eggs are a special treat. Tulips are a real delight. The colors are so bold and bright. Hiding eggs everywhere, the Easter Bunny loves to share. Pretty bluebirds chirp and sing. Their babies all hatch out in spring. Daffodils stand so tall, the proudest flower of them all. Little lamb wants to play. He skips and frolics every day. Fluffy chicks start to appear, spreading lots of Easter cheer. It's Easter time. Spring is here. It's such a colorful time of year. Make sure to check out other Gigi videos on Gigi's Magic Mailbox. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks, and see you later.